Okay, so I am videotaping the light at the corner of 305 and Madison, and this is the line to get in. Let me just see how long it's going to take us. It is 8:37 in the morning on a weekday morning. It's obviously work and school related. I'm just going to keep you going. I'm going to turn on some NPR because it could be a few minutes here.
Age 19 starts this company. He describes it as a technology company, just connecting people. Then he makes all of these very strategic moves to make Facebook the thing through which you consume the news, the thing through which you have public discourse. And it also has to be a safe space where people don't feel threatened. So it's getting very, very messy. And he is clearly now the CEO of a media company, and it's not clear that he has the core competency for it.
Arthi, thanks for your reporting.
Thank you.
This is NPR's Arthi Shahani. Now, a Facebook spokesperson got back to us telling NPR that their subcontractors are put through rigorous quality controls, and as for that calculation of less than 10 seconds to examine each flagged post, Facebook disputes it, saying its employees' numbers are off, though the company did not offer its own numbers. We have news now in the fight against malaria. Up until now, there have only been two major tools in that fight: spraying for mosquitoes and bed nets. Now in Western and Central Africa, there's another new technique that's being praised as a potentially major development. NPR's Jason Bopian reports.
Isaka Sagaro, who's with the Malaria Research and Training Center at the University of Bamako, says malaria dominates the healthcare system in Mali.
Malaria is the number one disease in Mali.
But most of those malaria cases happen only during the rainy season, from August to November.
You can target this season where the most transmission will be ongoing, and then you really can control malaria.
And this is the big change in the fight against malaria in this part of Africa. The idea here is very similar to the way Westerners use anti-malarial drugs. But the medications tourists take are far too expensive for most Africans. They're also too toxic to take year-round. And in much of Africa, the idea of trying to deliver preventative malaria drugs constantly through already overburdened health systems.
And just so you know, behind me, we got a bunch more traffic. So I'm not even at the end of the line here. So we just moved, light changed. So we get to scoot up for a bit and then we'll wait again. All right, so again, you can just see now we're gonna sit and wait.
Anti-malarials.
I would say that this is the most efficient strategy we have to control malaria today.
As effective as this is still a huge undertaking. At the American Society of Tropical Medicine and Hygiene's annual meeting this week in Atlanta, John Bosco Ouedraogo.
You can see in the mirror all the people behind me too.
Ouedraogo says getting these drugs into every village is not an easy task. First, the health workers have to identify all the children who are under the age of 5.
And then use a door-to-door distribution strategy to give all the drugs to the children during each round for the transmission season.
The kids take 3 pills, 1 each day over the first 3 days of the month. Then the next month, the health workers return with 3 more pills, and this goes on for 4 months. And Ouedraogo says at times the healthcare workers have run out of medicine.
The big challenge is how to get every year the drugs, because sometimes there is a difficult to get it.
Despite all this, he believes this new tool in the fight against malaria will have a lasting impact in his country. Jason Bobian, NPR News, Atlanta.
And this month, Reuters touted Seattle's efforts to end malaria. It called Seattle the Silicon Valley of saving lives. Some of the leaders working to fight malaria are the University of Washington and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We posted a link with more information on Twitter at KUOW.
Support for KUOW comes from Fireworks Galleries, where practical objects are recreated
light changed
with a
again.
playful edge for home, fashion, and lifestyle. 7 locations, including Bellevue Square, University Village, Westlake Center, and online at fireworksgallery.net, celebrating art and life.
A lot of people in the Northwest Timber Belt are thrilled.
And one more wait.
Timber jobs have been cut in half since 1990.
break this leg here this time.
But more cutting could put them at loggerheads with environmentalists. We'll hear how that's playing out in one timber town in 15 minutes.
Hey there, this is Audie Cornish from NPR, and whether you tune into KUOW for Morning Edition, for All Things Considered, The Record, or the BBC, please remember KUOW is here only because of your financial support. If you've been listening for a while but aren't yet a member, visit KUOW.org to learn more about membership. And thanks from all of us.
We'll have partly sunny skies today with a chance of rain, highs around 50 degrees. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds with a chance of rain around sunset, highs around 50. It's 8:42.
From NPR News in Washington, I'm Lakshmi Singh. President Obama is on his final state visit to Germany before he leaves office. In a joint news conference with Chancellor Angela Merkel right now, Obama is thanking her for her friendship and leadership and commitment to the alliance. The current stopgap spending bill expires in less than a month in the U.S., but NPR's Elsa Chang says congressional negotiators are now working on another spending measure that can be approved before lawmakers leave for the holidays.
House and Senate leadership have agreed they're going to move forward on a short-term spending bill to keep the government open through March 31st, 2017. Republicans would rather wait until next year when they have unified government to pass a longer-term bill because they'll have more leverage to shape the spending bill as they see fit.
Bad weather is forcing Iraqi special forces to temporarily halt their advance into northern Mosul. That's where ISIS is fighting to maintain control. A leading think tank in Morocco estimates that 450 people from Spain have traveled to Iraq and Syria to join ISIS. That's more than double the Spanish government's own estimate, as Lauren Freire reports from Madrid.
Morocco is involved because many of the suspected ISIS volunteers who've departed from Spain are actually dual citizens or Moroccans with Spanish residency, and many travel to the Middle East through Morocco. Spain says about 190 Spanish citizens or residents joined